Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Leading Yourself podcast. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're constantly playing catch up in life? Like everyone else seems to be miles ahead, but you're stuck struggling to keep up? If so, first of all, you're not alone. And then today, we're going to tackle this behind mentality and we're going to explore why it holds us back. But most importantly, we're going to learn how to let go of this feeling and unlock the power of focusing on our own journey. Let's dig in. Welcome to the Leading Yourself podcast. This is your host, Carolina de Arriba. I'm an HR professional, health and fitness coach, wife, mom, and above all things, a goal-getter. In this podcast, we're going to be digging into all things leadership, professional and career development, habits, and relationships. This is a podcast for those who want to become the best version of themselves. Those who have big dreams and are willing to embrace the journey and put in the work to achieve them. My goal is to share with you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you in your journey. So let's dig into today's episode. Today, we are diving into a topic that many of us struggle with, the quote-unquote behind mentality. This is the feeling that we're somehow falling short or lagging behind in our lives compared to others, whether it's in our careers, in our personal lives, or even our hobbies. It's easy to feel like we're not where we quote-unquote should be. But today, we're going to challenge that mindset and we're going to explore how to let go of this behind mentality. Now, before we do that, and to start this off, let's take a moment to understand what the behind mentality is. It's that nagging feeling of inadequacy when we compare our progress to others. Social media, societal expectations, and sometimes even our internal pressures contribute to this mindset. We live in an age of constant comparison. I mean, think about it for a minute. Social media platforms are filled with highlights and highlight reels of people's lives, making it easy to feel like we're not measuring up. When we see others achieving milestones, be it career advancement or personal achievements or lifestyle upgrades, we might feel like we're stuck or we're falling behind. Then society often sets unspoken timelines for success. By a certain age, we're expected to have X or Y or have accomplished this specific thing, like owning a home or getting married or reaching a particular level. These expectations can create a sense of urgency and sometimes a sense of inadequacy. When we feel that we're not meeting them or we're not keeping up with those. And then there's our internal dialogue that sometimes can be our hardest critic. I don't know about you, but I feel like that a lot of times. I feel like I am my worst critic. We set personal goals and deadlines, and when we don't meet them, we beat ourselves up. I'm guilty of that. This self-imposed pressure can lead to feelings of failure and a constant sense of being behind. Now that we understand what this behind mentality is, let's explore how it can impact our lives. See, constantly feeling like we're not measuring up can lead to chronic stress and anxiety. We're always on edge trying to catch up to an even every morning target. This stress can affect both our mental and our physical health, and leading to burnout and other health issues. Also, when we believe that we're falling behind, our self-esteem takes a hit. We start doubting our abilities, and even worse, we start doubting our worth. This low self-esteem can hinder our personal and our professional growth, as we might avoid taking risk or pursuing new opportunities. This behind mentality keeps us focused on what we lack or what we haven't achieved yet, making it difficult to appreciate our current accomplishments and experiences. Therefore, we miss out on the joy of the present moment, constantly fixated on an imagined future, because that's all that it is. The future hasn't happened yet. It's just in our imagination, it's just in our minds. And I believe we all should dream big. We should have big dreams that we are chasing, but they should be our own dreams. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I question whether my dreams are mine or are just a product of all of this comparison and all of this societal unspoken expectations, or just those internal pressures that I put on myself because I want to do more. I want to accomplish more. And I am personally, if you know me, you know, an ambitious person in the best sense of the word, right? I'm always trying to be better and always trying to improve and always trying to do more. And that sometimes holds me back from being present in the present. And one thing that I have learned is that when we're always living in this imagined future, we miss out on the joy of today, which is the only thing that we have guaranteed. So keep dreaming big, but make sure that your dreams are yours and only yours, and that you're going at your own pace. I'm not going to tell you to slow down in the pursuit of your dreams, but never let that hold you back from the joy of the present moment. So those are some ways that I believe this behind mentality is constantly impacting us, right? It creates stress and anxiety, can lead to burnout and mental and physical health issues. It impacts our self-esteem. We start doubting ourselves, our abilities, our worth, and then our inability to enjoy the present. I would say those are the three key ways that I can think of that this behind mentality is constantly having a negative impact on us. So let's challenge this behind mentality. And let's talk about how to let go of this mentality. And I want to share with you a few strategies that I think could help both you and I in ditching this behind mentality. And this is not something, let me tell you, that is going to go away from one day to the next overnight, right? This is something that requires consistency, that it requires working in ourselves to leave this behind. But it is possible. I'll tell you that it's day and night for me. A few years ago, I struggled with this so much. I still do. There's days that I still do, but it's nothing compared to what it was or the magnitude that it was. So the first thing that I want to talk about is radical acceptance. And what do I mean by this? Prevent yourself from getting caught up in merely wishing you were in a different place. Instead, practice this radical acceptance. Acknowledge where you are right now. Accepting your current reality doesn't mean that you have to like it or that you have to settle for it, but it's the first step in moving forward. And this involves being honest with yourself about your situation and recognizing that fighting reality only wastes your energy that you could be using to create change. How many times the only reason why we're not making progress, that progress that we want so much, is because we're wasting all our energy in fighting our current reality. The same reality we want to escape from to move towards that future that we dream of. Don't put your energy on what is holding you back, or on the things that in the situation that you want to move away from. Put your energy in where you want to move towards to, right? But in order to do that, in order to channelize the energy towards working on your future, you need to let go of the present. You need to just acknowledge where you are right now. Be radically honest with yourself on where you are right now. You need to, you need to be intentional about taking steps forward to get to that future, but you need to know where you're starting from and being honest with yourself. The second one is to set clear goals. Once you've accepted your current reality, set clear, actionable goals that will help you move forward. Break those goals into smaller, manageable steps that helps you make progress, and that progress to feel attainable. This approach turns your focus away from where you should be according to others and redirects it towards where you want to go. We talked about this a minute ago, right? Your dreams need to be yours. So setting goals can really help you create that sense of ownership of what you want by creating those very clear goals. Are you clear on what you want? Are you running away from something, or are you running towards something? I always ask myself that question when I find myself in that crossroad, right? Where I'm desperate for a change because, again, I maybe have not have that radical acceptance that we were talking about, and I feel stuck. And I just want to run away from that situation. And therefore, any dream or any goal is a good destination because I just want to, my only goal is to run away from my current situation. What I'm suggesting is instead of running away from something, run towards something that is yours, uniquely yours. Have that clarity. And not only dream awake with that, but also have these clear, actionable goals that are going to move you into action. Because the only way that you're going to change your current situation, that you're going to improve your current situation, is by taking action. And that leads me to point number 3, action over inaction. Taking action, no matter how small, is crucial. Even tiny steps towards forward can build momentum and can help you feel more in control of your journey. Avoid the paralysis that comes from wishing things were different. Instead, use the energy to take practical steps towards your goals. And then I think it's important as well to remember how far you've come. I think this is one strategy that personally has helped me a ton, because right now you're just focused on what is missing. You're just focused on how far away you are from your dream. But sometimes we need to stop and remember how far we've come. And 3 things that can help with this. The first one is to take time to reflect on your journey. Look back at where you started and then recognize the progress that you've made. No matter how small it might seem, progress is progress. And ask yourself, what do I now have that once I only wish for? And how have I grown over the past X amount of time? Let's say the last year. Those questions always open my mind to really the second point that I want to share with you. 1, celebrate milestones, celebrate achievements and those milestones along the way. Acknowledge your effort and give yourself credit for the hard work that you've put in. And I want to reinforce hard work. If you think about the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, In a growth mindset, you believe that if you put that hard work, your effort is going to lead to results. In a fixed mindset, you think those are fixed, right? So sometimes maybe the progress feels really small, but there's been a lot of effort. And I always like to stop and give myself credit for that effort. Because I could have chosen not to put the effort in, but I did. And not only I chose to put the effort in, but I did put the effort in towards that dream that I had. And that is worth celebrating and recognizing and giving yourself credit, because that speaks to your determination and your resilience and your action driven and your growth mindset. And this not only boosts your confidence, but also reminds you of your capabilities and your resilience. And then the last thing to remember how far you've come is to keep a gratitude journal, to regularly remind yourself of the positives in your life and the progress that you're making. Writing down what you're grateful for can really shift your focus from what is lacking to what you have. Gratitude really helps to foster that positive mindset, making it easier to recognize and appreciate your growth. And that's what we need in order to ditch this behind mentality. Another thing that I think it's really helpful to ditch this behind mentality is to focus on what brings you joy. And I want to share with you three tips on how to focus on what brings you joy. The first one is, oftentimes the area or two in which you feel behind takes up a disproportionate percentage of your focus. Think about it for a second. Oftentimes, the area or the two areas in which you feel behind take up a disproportionate percentage of your focus. Try to redirect your attention to other areas of your life that bring you joy and satisfaction. Make a list of activities or hobbies or aspects of your life that make you happy and spend more time engaging on those things. The second tip is to practice mindfulness by staying present and fully engaging in activities that bring you joy. This can really help disconnect from the constant comparison and reconnect with what truly matters to you. Mindfulness allows you to savor the moment and reduces that mental space for negative comparisons or thoughts of I am behind, right? So be really present, fully engage in those activities. So first you make the list and then you practice mindfulness, mean being fully present and engaged when doing those activities. And you're going to do more of those things, right? Take up more time on those things that make you happy, that bring you joy. And then the last thing around focusing on what brings you joy, I would say, is to surround yourself with people that uplift and inspire you. See, positive influences can provide that support, that encouragement, that valuable insight that can help you really focus on your own journey. Engage with friends and family who celebrate your achievements and reminds you that you are worthy. And then another strategy that I think it's helpful in leaving this behind mentality behind is to remember that everything worth having takes time. This is something that I've heard so many times. And it's one of those things that you can hear a million times, and until you actually experience it, you don't get it. At least that was my experience. I did not get it. I heard it, and I was always on a race, always on a sprint to get as fast as I could to what I wanted. And what I realized that the things that are really worth, not the things that I want in the surface, but the things that are really worthy, that everything worth having takes time. So 3 tips here to help us anchor ourselves in this thought that everything worth having takes time. The first one is patience is key. There is no expiration date on your success. And the life that you crave will take time to build. You're not going to have your dreams come true overnight. That only happens on the movies. We're in real life here, right? It's not going to happen over time. And that is okay, because that dream of yours, it doesn't have an expiration date. Understand that meaningful progress often takes longer than expected, and that is okay. Patience allows you to stay committed to your goals without the pressure of unrealistic deadlines that sometimes are just self-imposed. The second thing that is really helpful, or at least has helped me here, is consistency over perfection. Focus on consistency rather than perfection. Regular, sustained effort over time will yield better results than a sporadic burst of perfectionism. Embrace the idea that progress is not always linear. That took me some time to realize, but once I've learned that, my God, that was a difference maker. Because as I said, I was always on a sprint to get as fast as I could. And in my mind, right, the road from where I was to where I wanted to be was a straight line. The reality is that there's always ups and downs. And staying consistent is the only thing that is going to keep you moving forward. Having clarity on what your goal is, making your goal your own, and then focus on consistency rather than perfection. And when I talk about consistency, I mean consistency in your actions, right? Not consistency in just thinking about what you want. Yes, keep that top of mind, because when it's top of mind, that is going to guide your decisions and your actions throughout the day. But it's consistency in your actions that is going to take you to where you want to go. Not those sporadic bursts, right, of perfectionism, of like you're 2 months, you don't do anything, and then like you hustle and hustle for 3 days and everything being perfect. No, that's not how it works. It's the consistency over time. And just reminding ourselves of this, because it's hard. If you are a recovering perfectionist like I am, this is hard. But sometimes to be honest, I had this phrase on a Post-it note in front of me all day: consistency over perfection. Consistency over perfection. And then the last thing that can help with remember that everything worth having takes time and acting in that way is to trust the process. Trust that your efforts and your persistence will pay off in the long run. Have faith in the process. And very important, believe in your ability to achieve your goals. Remind yourself that setbacks are a natural part of the journey and not a sign of failure. Each setback is an opportunity to learn and to grow. And when you start looking at your setbacks that way, they won't bother you as much as they might be bothering you today. They won't push you out of the race. They won't push you to quit on your goals. You will just see them as an opportunity to take a pause, reflect, learn, grow. And with now that you know better, you'll be able to do better. Now that you have grown as a human being, now your capabilities are growing and you're stronger and wiser to face the next setbacks and to keep moving forward. Challenging the behind mentality requires a conscious effort to shift your focus from external comparison to internal growth. By embracing reality, by celebrating your progress, by finding joy in the present and trusting the process, you can let go of that feeling of being behind and move forward with confidence and with purpose. Okay, as we wrap up this episode, remember that you're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be on your unique journey. Let go of the behind mentality and embrace your path with confidence and joy. Celebrate your progress. Practice gratitude. Focus on your personal growth. You got this. Once again, thank you for joining me today on the Leading Yourself podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with others who might benefit from it. Help me spread the word to help more people that might be struggling like I am, or maybe you are, with this behind mentality. Don't forget to subscribe and to leave a review. And until next time, keep moving forward and living your best life. I'll talk to you next week. Okay, my friend, that's all I've got for you today. But before you go, 2 quick reminders. Number 1, if we're not already friends on Instagram, let's get connected. You can find me as Leading Yourself Podcast. Number 2, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am incredibly grateful that you're in this journey with me. I want to leave you with one last thought. I want to remind you that you're destined for more and that every step that you take brings you closer to becoming that best version of yourself. Embrace each day as a chance to learn, grow, and chase your dreams. The world needs you to shine brightly, so go out and show up fully and authentically. Take care, and I'll see you next time.